Lucas. How are you, my friend?
Hi, Roland. I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you. I can see now without glasses. It's wonderful. Since I had the eye surgery, it's beautiful, to be able to see like when I was 20. So 20/20 vision, beautiful. So yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. And would like to talk today about the webinar that we're going to conduct together uh, to uh, to explain in depth what astrology can do for you, for us, for you, for myself, for everyone, depending on how much involved we get in the process of learning and using the tool, which is a beautiful tool, astrology, to make our life better. That's the name of the school, so can't do without it. So, yes, present yourself, Lucas.
Hello everybody. I'm Lucas. I'm director of the Swiss branch of the ABLAS school, and in November we want to introduce you a bit more, in a different way and with a bit more depth, what astrology can do for you in your life. And so the first point to mention is, what is astrology actually? What can we expect from it? So to me, astrology is like a roadmap that shows you who you can become. That's somehow that could be seen like a shortcut to the best version of yourself. So it's a big program, right? But having the roadmap will definitely help to reach this target, maybe quickly, more, and with less damages along the road, along the way.
And of course, the knowledge that is acquired or using astrology can be applied in many areas. First of all, it is used to self-improve, and then that self-improvement can be transferred into your personal relationships, your career, your work, your health as well, and any kind of actually of situation can be related to what the energies in presence can show in a chart, the transits, the solar returns, and all these beautiful tools that are essential, in my opinion, anyway, to make one's life better. Mm.
Definitely. And this is something that is really unique to astrology. The fact that it can be applied to almost everything. That's a universal key. You can look at your, professional life, you can understand your relationship better, you can look at yourself, you can develop your understanding of spirituality. There is really no domain that cannot be seen through the keys that astrology gives us. And that makes it not only unique, but also extremely useful and efficient. And it does not take, let's say, too much knowledge to be able to start. With already a few connections, a few understandings about some planets, what is a transit, etc. One can start to apply this by, touch, light touch after light touch, and eventually you get fully into it. That's like a virus that gets you, but a good one, right?
For sure, yeah. And you will explain to us, you will tell us how you met astrology, or I would say rather how astrology met you, and how you become addicted to this art or science, whatever we want to call it. It is extremely useful, and it has been something that has transformed and completely changed your life, actually, for the better.
Yes, absolutely. It changed almost everything. And so, yes, we will discuss about that. We'll briefly talk about our own experience. Mine was astrology, and yours as well was your experience and the years of study and practice that you have done. So it will be part of the presentation, just to connect this principles with the human experience.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Because yes, I will talk about my own experience, of course, and we both of us have become professional astrologers, but there's no need for that. Actually, we could have simply been involved in astrology without being an astrologer and still using it on a daily basis at work with other people, in family, for whatever we want to do. There is no need to become a professional to be able to use this tool. This tool is available to anyone, whether you are an astrologer as such, or if you are passionate of this art or science, it can be just as good for you and the people around. Yeah.
I mean, before deciding to become a professional astrologer, I was using it. I was, looking at the charts, at the positions. I think everybody in almost all situations would benefit from that. Imagine if they would use that in schools, if it was used in education, helping people find their way, early in life. It would, to my opinion, it could change the world and make it a different place.
At least it makes the world a different place for the person who really studies and uses astrology on a daily basis. It makes the world completely different because we don't look at what is happening with the same eyes, the same eyes, but not the same mind. We relate that to the cosmos and what the cosmic influences do produce, actually, which unfortunately are not enough taken into consideration by, let's say, ordinary people or the media. But we will also look at the chart in two ways. There are two ways of looking at a chart: the positive manner and the negative manner. But unfortunately, we're in a society that is not really positive. So it gives us a lot of negative interferences with what we could become if we could get rid of that negative influence, as you know.
And astrology helps really much to, give some light, because as you mentioned, with all that is happening and this focus that is not always on the bright side, we can, and it's natural, sometimes find ourselves lost. And this is something that is there, that is present for your whole life. The chart is there, and it's always there reminding you what is the bright side and where it is. And some tools will help you in timing this. When can you size that opportunity? When should you be, more attentive about what could go wrong, and that is fascinating. But what it doesn't do, it's not going to live your life at your place, but it gives you an understanding of what you have to go through. And that brings some serenity in mind, knowing that you have to live something, knowing the purpose can completely change. It's a shift in perspective. And that is most probably the highest good that can come out of the daily practice of astrology.
And sometimes I'm asked if astrology in the end is not something that would sort of deteriorate your own free will. Well, telling you that we're all determined to follow a certain path and to lead certain life and so on, and we cannot get out of this structure, which is, in my opinion, not so at all, because even though a lot is written in a chart, you read what you want to read, and you read what you need to read to make your life better. That is the whole difference. Some people are really scared about some transits, like when they see Saturn arriving somewhere, they're convinced that it's going to be blocked for them, you know? But it's not, it's just their choice, you know? And astrology can tell you how to choose the best manner of looking at what is happening in a birth chart and transits and solar return and so on. That's interesting.
And somehow we could say that, everybody has its own individuality. That could be seen as the fate, you have a fate somewhere, but realizing it, making it happen, playing your individual role in this life is under your free will. So you have the, liberty or the freedom to realize who you are. Who you are is in the chart. You see the possible best version of what you can bring to the world with your family, with your friends, with your, with society. But the work to go there is entirely up to you. And so it bounces back to what you were explaining. When Saturn comes somewhere, it's not going to be easy because there is a work to do. But if your mindset is toward this evolutionary path, you can understand it and live it in a much more meaningful and nice way, as if you already are afraid of what is to come. That's an experience happening to you, happening in your life. So it's you, actually. And discovering yourself and helping you going this way with serenity is the purpose of astrology.
And I'm also asked sometimes how to integrate astrology in your life. Well, in my opinion, it's the astrology that is going to integrate in your life and not the contrary. So really, when you start to study astrology seriously and you apply what you are told in a positive manner, then astrology enters in your life and it enters your body, it enters your mind. It's like a drug, but it's a good one. And it is really meant to make your life better. So very quickly, I mean, you get the impression that without it, it's like a friend, a good friend to whom you can ask many questions and it's able to answer all questions in various ways, depending on your humor, on your mood, on your state of mind, on the situation where you are. But it's also always positive if you decide to look at your chart and look at what's happening in your life in a positive manner. That's what makes the whole difference.
And that's marvelous because with only a little bit of knowledge, you can start already. Of course, the more deep you get into it, the more you understand, the more things, start to get connected and make sense. But with already a little bit, you can start practicing. And we will give some hints and ideas about how you can implement that right after the webinar is done.
Yeah, sure. And the other thing is that we'll take the charts of a few celebrities to show even if a person begins very low with difficult life and no motivation and perhaps even illness, they can succeed because instinctively, eventually, from the negative aspects in their chart, they will transfer the energy to the positive one and succeed. But not everyone is able to do that instinctively. But if you use the astrology tool, then you can see in your chart, and we'll show that. And it will be very clear how much a chart can be different when you show it in a positive manner or the negative one. That's very, very interesting. And it's something that we should do actually all the time.
The webinar will help people, start getting in this way. And I'm sure when you start looking at that, if you're unsure, you start using it, practicing it, it won't last long until you realize all the benefits you can get from it.
And lastly, I wanted to say also that both of us became professional astrologers, but no one has to become a professional astrologer to use astrology on a daily basis very efficiently and wisely and very positively and constructively. So astrology is not a job. It's really a passion. It's like art, really. It's like you like to paint, you like to play music, you like to write songs or poetry or any kind of other stories and so on. You don't have to be a professional to do that. You may become a professional because you're good at it, because you are really dedicated to the art. Then you may become a professional. But to start with, you don't have to have that perspective in your mind, because that could become a source of tension and maybe not the best tension to lead you to what you want to achieve with astrology. Astrology is a tool, it's a friend, it's like a wizard to whom, you can ask questions, obtain answers, replies, and guidance as well. And that's wonderful.
And I mean, the main ingredient to get started, I would say, once you pass the first days of learning, the planets and all of that, is passion. Because it's so fascinating. Once you get the passion that burns, you will definitely use it and have a lot of fun while doing it.
All right, so this webinar is going to be very interesting. I think we're going to be very passionate about what we're going to explain. And I hope that the people who will be participating in this event will appreciate it and get strong motivation to get involved much more in astrology, because I think that the world would be better if everyone knew about astrology, if it actually astrology was taught in schools from the earlier age, which I did to my children, and they're very, they use astrology now, and they're not astrologers at all, but it is in their life.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to present this webinar with you.
And I hope that you will teach astrology to your daughters as well, when they're old enough to understand and to appreciate it.
I definitely will.
The date, 9th of November.
Yeah, it's going to be on the 9th of November, and you will have all the information on the form,
on the website.
The time, everything is described here, and the replay, of course, will be available as of the day that follows the webinar.
And the program as well will be on the website, so anyone interested can read the program, and it's a very rich program, so it may last a bit longer than 2 hours. But anyway, time doesn't count when we have fun, right?
That's right.
Okay, see you then. Bye-bye. All the best.
Bye, Roland. Thank you.